Is it raining? Yeah, there's the rain.
Amori, going ahead, you're going to need to be strong. Amadeus is close. I can feel him. He hurt my family, and he needs to know my pain. Not all hurt needs to be met with retribution.
No, but in this case, this dude needs to die. Probably. Like, holy crap, his entire force is just, like, out-murdering people for wildly selfish reasons.
And also, if this is because his wife died, is it because he wants to find a way to bring her
back?
Wait a minute. Watch it be some weird thing where he's trying to recruit people with sense, but none of them can actually
but they're just killing them first.
They're killing all the people.
It would make more sense if they died trying to do whatever he had asked them to. But no, it feels like he, maybe she died because she was a... No, that doesn't make any gosh darn sense. Anyway, let's just keep going.
Think ahead, Amori. I know you're better than that. I know what you're doing. You're trying to convince me not to fight him. Oh, Amori, it's so much more than that. I agree. He must be stopped. He's already hurt so many people in Cha. Please, take care of yourself.
So this is So, last week, I read a bunch of Injustice, and it kind of confronted, like, part of the story is kind of admitting that, like, maybe if they had actually just killed the Joker...
Can you switch realms for a moment, just to see?
Can I do what?
Switch realms.
Oh, sure. Just switches some scenery around. But, you know, if they killed the Joker, none of Injustice would have happened, because effectively the Joker blows up Lois Lane. Well, no.
Oh, what? It's so weird just to say that he blows her up.
So,
no.
Effectively what he does is he kidnaps Lois Lane, brings her to a sub, makes Superman think that... Is it Doomsday? Or effectively that... Maybe it was Doomsday's son is attacking. Because he dosed Superman with some kind of
Doomsday
hallucination.
has a son?
Yeah.
Doomsday was some kind of weird monster conglomerate alien thing. Experiment.
Oh, Darkseid. Darkseid had a son.
I thought his name was Darkseid.
Oh. It's S-E-I-D. Look,
I know.
I've never heard it pronounced because read comics, not watch show. I never liked the cartoon as much. Like, I was big on the Batman animated series, but the Superman one was just weird.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd appreciate it more now, but as a kid, I was just like...
Maybe it is Darkseid. I don't know. I've always heard it Darkseid.
It probably is, considering. But, so effectively, he thought either Darkseid or Darkseid's son was attacking. And so he thought that the son had, like, killed Lois Lane, or... I don't remember, but effectively flew him into space to, like, get rid of him permanently, because... He was already pretty manic, but oh, surprise, it's actually just Lois Lane, and he was hallucinating, and effectively just spaced his own wife and their unborn child, which causes Superman to snap and go full-on dictator with the world, say, like, you know, no more supervillains, no more war.
This?
But so much of the story, at least in the beginning, was kind of was Batman recognizing that if he had just actually put aside his morals for, like, one murder and gotten rid of the Joker, everything would have turned out better. And there was even kind of like a what-if dream that Batman concocted where he was like, yeah, actually, if I had just shot the Joker then and there, that would have saved Superman from going crazy.
Isn't that always the quandary with superheroes, though? Is that in order to prevent themselves from becoming a villain themselves or no better than the villains, they often spare their lives. At which point the villains just break out and cause more mayhem and death and destruction.
Like, I feel like there's gotta be a storyline in all of these superhero comics where somebody who is a victim of one of these villains comes back and is just like, your absolute lack of, like, willingness to do what needed to be done resulted in the deaths of so-and-so, because, like, they kind of acknowledge that here and there, but they never like move past it. And it's like, Batman's like, no killing, but by not permanently, like, all he needs to do is cut off the Joker's hands probably, but he won't even do that. Like, I realize it's horrible, but at the same time, the Joker murders countless people constantly, and then he keeps getting thrown back in the asylum, and it's just like, you'd have to think, like, I'd say the Joker...
At which point is enough enough?
Yeah, like...
I don't know, but we're getting in a very, very dark topic. But what does this have to do with Amadeus?
Because
at this point,
What's-Her-Face
he has killed so many people, and they've turned into ghosts.
And so What's-Her-Face is saying, like, don't kill him, kind of, or implying? I don't know. It was a little confusing.
It's probably because it's going to play up the... he's been hurt, his wife has died,
but like,
etc. But that doesn't justify what he's done to other people.
Yeah, it's like, I realize that death isn't necessarily the proper punishment for so many of these things, but and I guess part of it is I've just seen this topic crop up a lot recently, because I know My Hero Academia is doing this too. It's like, main character is asked to save somebody, and there's kind of the quandary of like, what is saving them? And one of the supporting characters is like, honestly, maybe even just killing them to some degree is saving them.
Is it one of those characters that has gone mad with power or something?
And a lot of things. Like, at some point I'll bring you through it. I don't think this is like super mega spoilers.
We're stalling here.
Well, I just wanted to talk about this because I love this topic, and I don't feel like this game's going to explore it too much beyond just kind of the simple, like, don't kill him, but it's just
also,
like...
does he have a bow?
Yeah, he's got a bow, and he's green, and his arm is all kind of tea.
Peculiar compared to all the other characters.
But it's just like, I don't know. Looking at this dude, I think the whole, like, don't kill him thing goes out the window the moment, like, you examine any of the things.
Well, what's happened to him? Well, are you gonna read?
Why, hello, Amori. We meet at last.
So there's being pursued by hunters, you're saving, has killed people, and continues to put Shaw in danger. I
like the middle one.
I like the middle one because it is what we've been discussing all this time, that he's been killing more people than actually helping. Your saving has killed people and continues to put Cha in danger.
I'll admit, the hunter's execution can be a bit sloppy, and our spiritual elimination duties has risks. But we do this to prioritize the safety of the town's larger population. Besides, you don't know anything about loss. Whoops. Your resistance ends here.
But what about when your guys murdered the man who wanted to keep his great-grandfather's teapot?
So I think
How
this
is that
all of this logic would make more sense
the populace?
if they straight up had shown, like, some of these spirits that have been left too long or too vengeful. If you actually... Like, if her parents were straight up killed by a rogue spirit that was mad.
Yeah. It would make total sense if spirits linger far too long, they become monsters, and then there might be the incentive to destroy any and all spirits, regardless of whether or not some of them can be saved.
Because, the sheer risk of leaving one of these spirits around is way too great that, if there's even a chance that... Because, I mean, think of it this way.
What would also be creepy is if most normal people can't even see them, then your ability to combat the spirits is solely dependent on how many people that you have with sense.
Yeah. And maybe it's one of those that, like,
them.
a bad sense user can cause one of these spirits to go berserk immediately. Or even maybe that would be it, that, like... half of the reason why his wife died was because a malicious sense user caused a ghost to go rogue and murdered a bunch of people as kind of like an attempt to overthrow society. Like, there's a bunch of different ways that this could have been
because
told.
they're the sense people that can help people pass on, but what if there are...
Yeah, effectively, the sense users could have been like ghost necromancer kind of people. Like, they just have spirit powers and aren't necessarily good, and so a bad sense user absolutely caused something to go rogue, cause him to go mad, kill his wife, cause all the hunters to suddenly be anti-ghost, blah, 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 blah. And, like, I think that would make a lot of these pieces make way more sense. Well, let's keep going. We'll see how it goes.
Okay. Why do you capture spirits, only to destroy them? I can't promise it will be easy, but if we work together, we could help them pass on peacefully.
What an outrageous accusation. Undo everything I've worked so hard to construct. You will not take her away from me.
I didn't mean it like that. I was suggesting that we come to an arrangement. Because right now, I have a problem with how you do things. Your wife? I'm sorry. Look, I don't understand the full extent of your loss, but I'm willing to try.
Ha! I commend your honesty. Well, seeing as you already know, there was an accident. She had an enormous amount of compassion. One day she tried to help a rogue spirit, and it killed her.
Ah!
Yep.
Dun dun dun! Kinda got it right there. A rogue spirit killed her. So was his wife Cense then?
Yeah, potentially.
Probably?
Against Cense practice, I channeled her spirit into my headpiece crystal during the passing on ritual.
Oh, so she's kind of in there? So why the army?
I formed the Hunter's Army to capture and destroy rogue spirits that could permanently separate me from my love. Oh.
How can they permanently separate?
He's getting rid of sense users that could potentially send her spirit on. It's written awkwardly, but...
okay, so what he's getting at is that it's against the sense code for him to have kept his wife's spirit in the headpiece.
Yeah. I get it now. So they're kind of close to what we were theorizing would have been like a good telling. I think it's just a little...
So to capture and destroy rogue spirits that could... So the thing is, it's not the rogue spirits that would...
Yeah, it would be the sense users.
I mean, it would make sense if he said, I formed the Hunter's Army to capture and destroy the rogue spirits like the ones that slayed my wife.
Yeah, to make sure it never happens again. But also sense users to make sure no one could ever take my wife from me ever again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just a couple extra lines here would make all of this flow a little bit better.
Yeah.
I hesitate to inform you, but her soul is suffering. That too will eventually erase her.
No, you're wrong. She'll be with me forever.
Mom? I tried to reason with them.
Wait, oh, him. Sorry, she's talking to her mothers again.
I tried to reason with him. I won't let you continue on this way.
I'll never reject an eager challenger. Hunters, ready my armor and bow. All right.
Is this going to be a boss rush? Because these look like the same boss battles. Oh, not a good block for it to be on.
I'm just gonna wait for him to spot. There we go. Oh.
Ah, it's up there.
Nope.
Ah!
Is
there enough space?
No.
No, you need to have it...
There we go.
Ah, all the way at the end.
Nope. There we go. Is he even attacking me at this point?
No, he's not attacking you in this stage. But now it'll start. Maybe it wanted you to help you set up that particular section because it was more difficult.
I guess. Alright, is that it?
Maybe you'll talk at the end of every round?
Yeah.
Amadeus and his wife lived happily in a small cottage in Cha. They both had the sense. His wife loved all spirits. She would converse, play, and drink tea with them.
Yes, because everyone must drink tea. Yeah.
Nope.
Round 2.
So it's just a rehash. Makes sense.
So orange.
I'm not looking forward to the last phase.
Green and red. Cyan, orange, pink. Maybe I should just call it blue. Because I suppose the indigo is more of a purple.
Purple, red, blue, pink.
Yep. Red, blue, pink.
Okay.
Red, green,
green,
orange, blue, pink.
Green, orange, blue, and blanc.
Yep, and they've given you some of the little planter boxes.
Pink, red, green, orange. Pink, red, green, orange. Nope.
Yeah, okay. Pink, red.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
One day, in the streets of Cha, 2 children with the sense figured out how to trap a spirit inside an amulet and taunted it. Amadeus's wife ran up to the children and took the amulet so that she could free the hurting spirit. Ooh. But it was too late, and the spirit had gone rogue. Blinded with rage, they killed the wife right then and there. The spirit faded away, and the children ran, and Amadeus cried over his wife's body.
I
So this is the crystal one. So you just have to survive so many rounds until the crystals are completely worn away. Oh, there, now you have arrows. Didn't even realize until this one boss battle that you had a sword on hand.
Yep. Yeah, we're a weirdly well-equipped girl. Maybe.
Well, her mothers were part of the Cense Society.
Mm-hmm. Much HP? Oh, I'm fine. I didn't take nearly as much damage. Yup. Nope. Hello? Yep.
Okay, he should be gone.
Yeah.
The end of power. They said it was impossible.
Unable to let go, he grabbed his own amulet and put his wife's spirit inside. Ever since, her spirit has been fading, but Amadeus figured out a way to capture other spirits and sacrifice them in order to elongate her lifespan.
So elongate.
No, Amori! What have you done?
Amadeus, my love, I've been suffering here for here long enough. You have to let me go. I know you're doing this out of love, but you'll never heal without allowing yourself grief.
To grieve.
Yep.
So it's to grieve rather than to... Yep.
I will forever be in your heart. I love you.
So yeah, I guess they were pretty dang close.
Mom? Ma? Are you there?
she releasing her mothers from her own amulet.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's interesting. In a way, yeah, the kids caught the evil spirit in the amulet. Amadeus caught his wife in the spirit, but her mother's spirits went inside
Her amulet.
that amulet. Yep.
We're here, sweetie. What have I done? Is Amadeus and our situation that different? Mom, could you ever forgive me? I'm so sorry. Everything's okay, honey. There's nothing to forgive. We're hanging in there and hoping to show you the sacrament of your sense power. But not like this. We're so proud of the wisdom that you've brewed already. The trinkets. They're all associated with some of my favorite memories with you both. That's right. We knew this would be the hardest ritual for you to perform. We stayed as long as we could, but now it's time to go. No one prepared me for this. I don't know how to move on. You've shown so much strength and resilience already, Amori. We love you, and the truth in that will never pass away.
Right bumper. Yeah, this probably goes there.
Not so much pot as pauldron.
There we go. So there's the blossom, the teapot, and then the flute, or the piccolo. Right. Mother and daughter's love, a game well played.
Oh, that's a really pretty logo.
Tired tortoise. Yeah, look at that. It's really cute. Oh, co-art director and lead game designer. So that was Luca.
Was Luca the one?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that reached out to us. Very impressive first game for a bunch of students. Not even out of college yet. Like, gosh, I wish I had been able to work on something like this when I was in college.
Oh yeah, for all of those. Well, the thing is, those hasty game jams were what, 1 week long projects?
1 weekend.
1 weekend.
Yeah. It was like it was pretty much 48 hours. Generally, potentially without sleep. And like, I wanted to do stuff like this, and I tried to convince the game designers that I was associated with that, like, hey, let's make some games like this. And the college we went to didn't really support this sort of thing until after we graduated, and all of my game design friends were like, nah, we don't feel like making games with you. And I'm like, but hands-on practice, like, it'd be good for all of us. And they're like, eh.
And for a student project, I would say that this was really ambitious and that they tried to do
a lot.
Some manner of dialogue trees, even though they all ended up circulating back to the
yeah, it wasn't branching dialogue so much as just like some options that you could talk to people about.
But they had that. They had, I mean, the movement, isometric movement.
Yeah, worked pretty well. It was
really
a little
interesting.
clunky, but honestly, I've had worse in many other games, so...
Because I would say that most student projects that I've ever seen have been side-scrollers.
Yeah, because they're easy. They're easy, at least
easier.
conceptually, and boy, there's a lot that you can just pull from.
And then also the fact that they had all these puzzles, and that the puzzles, they did kind of build off one another.
Yeah.
And such, and it's very difficult to conceptualize new puzzles.
Yeah.
And different maps and different ways that you can combine the elements that you've used in previous puzzles in order to create more difficult puzzles later.
Yeah.
So they were, and then also the combat, I suppose. It wasn't combat so much in the sense that you were actually fighting the bosses so much as avoiding damage on the floor.
Doing the puzzles that you've already kind of done elsewhere, but avoiding damaged tiles on the ground, which
I still think that's
it works.
It's using elements that you've already implemented in the non-combat based gameplay and then having that in the combat.
Also, I hate to say this, but Turtle Tribe, the Neocense logo that you have there, there's a little line as a result of that you might want to erase.
Oh, on the far right?
Yeah. I've done that before. I totally know.
The little pixels just on the right side.
I apologize for all of this if I seemed a little critical. I know from my own perspective, like, proper critique is really important in terms of, like, learning and improving. And this is, honestly, once again, frankly incredible for a bunch of students.
Mm-hmm. And I think the gameplay itself was spot on. I think the only things that really needed work on were probably just dialogue.
Yeah, I think the dialogue was the roughest part, if only just because there were a lot of misconnections, and I think it needed to just be...
I think the UI also had an issue at the bottom where if a certain line of text was too long, it would overlap.
Yeah.
And then, it was really just making the characters sound like they're actually conversing.
It's hard.
Rather than just stating things.
Like, it's absolutely hard, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if, most of the people working on this project were more on the game design side of things. And so, that's why the gameplay is so refined compared to the actual, like, dialogue and text stuff.
Mm-hmm. Though I do have to say, I absolutely loved all the tea references.
Yeah.
I'm a huge tea drinker myself, so just seeing all the tea was really cute.
We both started this
we're
with
both
tea in
drinking
hand.
tea. Yep, we both had tea.
We're both drinking tea. I finished mine, like, a while ago.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm still sipping my kombucha because kombucha is pretty sour, and I like to sip things.
But I stand by my statement of, I would love to see this polished just for a little bit, just so there's kind of no lingering sense of, like, the couple of problems that are holding it back. Mostly just fix that dialogue towards the end and have somebody proofread, because there were definitely a lot of, like, kind of odd typos.
There were some misspellings and
weird word choices. Just as kind of like that way you can kind of put a pin in this game and say, it's done well, and you don't have to think about, like, the couple of things left undone. But then otherwise, I would say, move on and make something new, because you guys have a lot of potential, and I could see some great things coming out of you all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with that, my jaw hurts. Because we're recording too much. But it's really nice to have every once in a while sit down and play a student game that shows this much promise. I think the last time we did something like this was, oh shit, what was that?
Atma.
Yeah, Atma. Same caliber.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's cool, and I'm jealous because once again, I did not get this opportunity when I was in college.
And that's another thing to point out about what makes games so special, because with a small team, you had writers, you had artists, you had programmers, people that helped with production and conceptualizing how things would work. And it's one of those mediums where you get a lot of cooperation between people with different skill sets and
diverse viewpoints.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't know, just that collaborative effort. It's really nice to see.
Yeah. But for now, at least, I guess I should probably mention, I might just put this all up as one video. Just for the sake of. Because this week is kind of busy to begin with. But I realize saying this at the very, very end is kind of silly, but...
Yeah, so thanks to Luca for sending this our way. We absolutely loved playing it.
Yeah.
And if you want to get Neocense, it's on Steam.
Yeah, for $5. Which, like, for this, I think that's a great price. And especially for, like, a basic student... Well, basic. Like a beginner student project kind of thing. That seems very reasonable. I'd love to see more student projects of this caliber and this vein.
I wonder if the studio will stay together for a bit.
Hopefully, at least to some degree.
Tired
I've seen it
tortoise.
happen
It
with a
looks so
couple of
cute.
different developers. There's a couple of other student projects that I should go back and double check that we played. Many of them don't actually tell you that they're student projects until after the fact, and it's like, wait, this is just made by students? That's cool. But, oh well. It'd be cool if there was like a classification on Steam or like a category that I could find. Anyway, with all of that said, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.